Let's give a very, very huge round of applause. Thank you so much. Honorable Minister and all the high table members, we get seated, and all the participants. Honorable Waziri Mchengerwa, as I just said, we do expect you to open the Tanzania Pharmaceutical Production Investment Forum, which looks at unlocking Tanzania's potential as a regional pharmaceutical manufacturing hub, which has main three purposes, which are, the first one is to showcase pharmaceutical manufacturing investment opportunities in Tanzania. And the second purpose is to highlight government incentives, regulatory pathways, and support mechanisms, but also to facilitate networking between investors, manufacturers, government, regulators, and development partners. And that's why all these investors.
Waziri Mchengerwa. I'm standing before you and the audience to give an introduction, just to understand who is here and where they're coming from. And before I start doing that, the Master of Ceremony has already talked a bit on the objectives of this meeting, but allow me to briefly elaborate a bit on those objectives. So one of them, as he said, is to seek and to showcase the wide range of pharmaceutical manufacturing investment opportunities in Tanzania, but we'll also be able to share how fast-growing our market is, supportive policy environment, and also expanding industrial infrastructure. So all this will be shared here today. But again, we'll use this opportunity as well to provide an opportunity to highlight what the government of Tanzania is doing in terms of providing incentives, regulatory pathways, but also other support mechanisms that are designed to attract and sustain pharmaceutical manufacturing investments. Honorable Minister, the third objective, and which is also equally important, is that this meeting is intended to foster meaningful networking and dialogue between our domestic investors, but also our foreign investors or international investors in the manufacturing industry of health commodities, but also government institutions that are present here, regulators, and development partners. So we look forward to an open engagement, very constructive dialogue, and also a practical outcome that will move Tanzania very closer to becoming a regional pharmaceutical manufacturing.
From investment from different countries, my fellow Tanzanians, very good afternoon. Or it's morning. On behalf of our government and the people of United Republic of Tanzania, I warmly welcome you to our country and this important investment forum. I am pleased to address you on behalf of Tanzania Pharmaceutical Manufacturer Association and to present to you compelling investment opportunities within Tanzania pharmaceutical manufacturing sector. Tanzania is politically and economically very stable country with a strong commitment to private sector-led growth. This stability provides a secure and predictable environment for long-term investment, particularly in strategic sectors such as this pharmaceutical sector. Over the past years, local investors, we have established pharmaceutical manufacturing facilities covering almost all the fields of pharmaceutical, large volume parentals, solid dosages, capsules, liquid formulations, and all of these plants operate to internationally recognized GMP standards, supported by a very robust regulatory framework led by Tanzania Medicine and Medical Device Authority, TMDA. TMDA is a WHO accredited institution, and we are very proud. So we don't compromise on our quality of production in Tanzania in regard to pharmaceutical. In line with our government development agenda, Tanzania aims to increase local manufacturing production of pharmaceutical to over 50% of national demand. And this is driven by our President, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan. And today we are very pleased for our minister to be here. He has been in this office less than 100 days, and this agenda has been top in the priority. And we thank our government for this particular step towards enhancing manufacturing facilities in Tanzania for pharmaceutical. To facilitate this goal, the Ministry of Health has established Pharmaceutical Investment Acceleration Task Force. This shows the willingness of the government to resolve all the challenges which we are facing today in this industry. So we are very proud of this task force, and we believe that this task force will look at the challenges and create a conducive environment which will enable the existing investment to grow and attract more foreign investment in our country. Tanzania also offers a very strong market fundamentals. Our healthcare sector is expanding very rapidly, and the country is attracting medical tourism. Our health facilities in this country are really accelerating. We have established many healthcare facilities, which now we are targeting to become a hub for medical tourism in the region. So this is a very strong market fundamentals for the pharma industry. And as you know, Tanzania is well positioned to serve as a regional pharmaceutical manufacturing and distribution hub for East and Central Africa. We invite you to partner with us through joint ventures. We, as local manufacturers, we are quite open to join hands with all foreign investment so that we can grow together and capture this market. We are also inviting you for technology transfer and greenfield investment and unlock these opportunities to contribute to sustainable healthcare development in the region. We are serious, and we are here today to make sure that Tanzania can accelerate and achieve this target. I welcome all of you. Welcome to Tanzania. Welcome to this huge market, and we are here to cooperate with our government to ensure that the target of the government is achieved. Thank you very much.
Asante sana Mzee Harun. Thank you so much, Mzee Bashir Harun, for your remarks. And now, Honorable Minister, allow me to welcome on the podium James Maziku, who is a Director of Investment at the Tanzania Investment and Special Economic Zones Authority, TISEZA, who is coming to bring to you remarks from the TISEZA on behalf of the Director General, Gilead Terry. Karibu sana, James Maziku. Tumpige makofi mengi tafadhali.
Honorable Minister, High Table, distinguished guests, all protocol observed. I'm thankful to you, Honorable Minister, to give TISEZA a chance to stand on this meeting. I understand this is your meeting, and I'll try my level best to be as smart, short as possible. Our presence of TISEZA here, we have one big role to facilitate and coordinate business networking. We are mandated by way of legislation, the Investment Act of 2025, to coordinate all investment-related issues. Lucky enough, or coincidentally, Honorable Minister, pharmaceutical industry is one of the priority sector TISEZA identifies. So we are here, me and our part of my colleagues, I understand we'll have a space and lots to do a presentation. So given this chance, I don't want to preempt it, but I just want to make an assurance before you, Honorable Minister, and all investors that will be staying around until the closure of this meeting to facilitate and provide all guidance and clarity of whatsoever related to investment issues. With this, I submit, Honorable Minister. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Maziku. And now, Honorable Minister, allow me to welcome to the podium Honorable Emmanuel Nwas, who is member of the Parliamentary Committee on Health and AIDS Issues, and he is bringing to you greetings from the committee on behalf of the committee's chairperson. Karibu sana Mheshimiwa Dr. Emmanuel Nwas, mbunge na mjumbe wa kamati hii.
Honorable Minister of Health, Deputy Minister of Finance, our chairperson of the Pharmaceuticals Association, and high table leaders, our esteemed investors from all over the world and within the countries, good afternoon. Honorable Minister, I would like to bring the very warm greeting from the members of Parliament who are in the standing committees of health and AIDS issues that I'm representing into this meeting. We are very happy to see this important progress in improving the manufacturing of the pharmaceutical commodities and supplies within our country. As you remember, Honorable Minister, one of the goals of our President, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, is to bring a smile to the faces of Tanzania. And one of the key sectors that will bring the smiles is the health sector, by ensuring that all Tanzanians are having a good health. And one of the key important areas is to ensure that we have the key supplies and the drugs within our hospitals, dispensaries, and district hospitals, regional hospitals, and all across to the national hospital. And therefore, this meeting is very important in ensuring the supplies are good in our health facilities, but also ensuring that our health professionals are able to give a good service to our Tanzanian clients within our health system. And therefore, we as the Standing Committee on Health and AIDS Affairs, we are giving a commitment that all the regulatory issues that will be needed to be approved and that you will need our input, will be available, and will give the necessary input so that we give a very fair, a very good investments environment to our investors so that we can reach this important goal. Lastly, I would like to say that also we understand there will be an issues on legal issues which will need a parliamentary approval, and therefore our committees, on behalf of the chairperson of our committee, will give the necessary input so that we improve a legal environment for investors to work and safeguard their investments within our country so that we harness from this a very prestigious opportunity. And therefore, Honorable Minister, together with your ministry, we welcome you to our committee whenever you have an issues to present, and we give our commitment to support in realizing this vision of having a very, very good manufacturing industry on pharmaceutical commodities in our country. Thank you, and we are there to support you. Asante sana.
Thank you so much, Dr. Emmanuel Nwas. Mheshimiwa Waziri Dr. Nwas, huyu ni daktari kabisa wa binadamu, ni tabibu, amehudumu kwa muda mrefu kule Mbulu katika hospitali ya Haydom Lutheran pale na maeneo mengine. Na sasa Mheshimiwa Waziri, ninaomba uridhie Tupokee salamu kutoka Wizara ya Fedha na zinawasilishwa na Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri wa Wizara ya Fedha, Mheshimiwa Msham Munde. I now welcome to the podium Honorable Msham Munde, who is the Deputy Minister of Finance, for very brief remarks. Karibu sana, Mheshimiwa.
As it was introduced, I am Engineer Msham Ali Munde. I'm the Deputy Minister of Finance. I'm here to deliver a brief speech that has been given me by the Minister of Finance, Honorable Ambassador Musa Omar Hamis. Honorable Guest of Honor, distinguished investors, development partners, senior government officials, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is my honor and privilege to address you today on a matter of strategic importance to the government of the United Republic of Tanzania, the development of domestic and regional manufacturing capacity for health-related supplies and the role of public-private partnership, PPP, in realizing this objective. Honorable Guest of Honor, the COVID-19 pandemic and other global disruptions provided a clear lesson to us that health security is inseparable from economic security. Countries that depend heavily on imports for essential medical supplies are vulnerable to external shocks, supply disruptions, and foreign exchange pressures. Tanzania has therefore made a deliberate policy choice to strengthen local production of pharmaceuticals, medical devices, diagnostics, and other health commodities. At the same time, demand for health products is growing rapidly, as you know, both domestically and across the East African and Southern African countries. This presents not only a public health imperative, but also a significant industrial and investment opportunity. I hope this is why you're here. Honorable Guest of Honor, the government recognizes that achieving this ambition requires strong collaboration with the private sector. Public-private partnerships offer a powerful mechanism to mobilize private capital, technology, innovation, and managerial expertise, while ensuring that public interests are safeguarded. Through PPP arrangements, Tanzania is opening opportunities for investors to participate in the following: pharmaceutical and medical device manufacturing facilities, diagnostic laboratory supplies and reagents, shared infrastructures such as quality control laboratories, cold chains, and logistics platforms, and more importantly, technology transfer and contract manufacturing partnerships. To support these opportunities, the government has strengthened the legal and institutional framework for PPPs. As you all know, PPP has been a nightmare for quite a while, and this is why PPP projects are not many. Amendments to the Public-Private Partnership Act in 2023 has enhanced flexibility, transparency, and investor confidence, while aligning PPP projects with the incentives available under the Tanzania Investment and Special Economic Zone Act, TISEZA. Honorable Guest of Honor, we are equally committed to ensuring that Tanzania remains a competitive and attractive investment destination. Investors in health-related manufacturing benefit from a range of fiscal and non-fiscal incentives. As you probably know, that incentives in this sector did not include fiscal areas, including tax reliefs, exemptions on capital goods and raw materials, access to serviced land in special economic zones. Health products also enjoy preferential access to public procurement, providing stable and predictable demand. Beyond the domestic market, Tanzania offers strategic access to regional markets under the East Africa Community and SADC, positioning investors to serve a population of over 400 million people from a stable and well-connected base. This is a very big opportunity to you investors. Honorable guest of honor, our long-term vision is clear. Tanzania aims to become a regional hub for the manufacturing of health-related products, a center of quality production, innovation, and export competitiveness. This vision is anchored in policy consistency, macroeconomic stability, and a firm commitment to public-private collaboration. To our investors and partners present today, I wish to emphasize this to you. Tanzania is open for partnership. I repeat, Tanzania is open for partnership. We are ready to engage, to co-design bankable projects, and to work with you through implementation so that together we can build resilient health supply chains, create jobs, transfer technology, and deliver lasting value to our people and the region. Honorable guest of honor and distinguished guests, I thank you for your attention and for your continued confidence in Tanzania. I look forward to fruitful discussions and enduring partnership. Thank you very much.
Asante sana, Mhandisi Mshamali Munde. Let's again join our hands together for him. Thank you so much. And now, Honorable Waziri Mchengerwa, after this very first round of greetings from various groups, allow now me to welcome before you entertainment from Rishon Poto and the band. Mjomba Band, welcome on stage for the prepared entertainment for today's event. Asante sana. Karibu sana. Tuwapige makofi mengi sana Mjomba Band wakati tunakuja.
ya kwetu, hakuna wa kuijenga bali ni mimi nawe.
Mwenye moyo wa kizalendo,
uwe mmoja wao, uwe mmoja wao, uwe mmoja wao, uwe mmoja wao,
Count not the value of life in number for years, but in seconds and minutes of needs, which are touching people's hearts and they think prestige. Maisha hatuyahesabu kwa karne na miaka. Ni matendo ya wajibu, sekunde ama dakika, yatakayoleta thawabu kwa watu kuyakumbuka. Ndiyo maisha, thawabu na yanayohesabika. Ndugu zangu, hatuangalii tumeishi karne ngapi, hatuangalii tumeishi miongo mingapi, hatuangalii tumeishi siku ngapi. Tunaangalia katika nafasi ndogo ulioaminiwa, umefanya nini kwa ajili ya kuacha kumbukumbu na historia katika watu waliokuamini. Leo tunazungumzia miaka kadhaa katika historia ya nchi hii. Tunazungumzia Watanzania zaidi ya milioni 61. Tunazungumzia bima ya afya kwa wote, kwa kila Mtanzania. Hakuna sababu nyingine, lengo kila mtu afurahie, aenjoy maisha ya nchi aliyozaliwa. Mtu kazi, kinachotokea leo unakwenda kugusa mioyo ya Watanzania. Watanzania kila wanapolala wanaamka wanaulizia kuhusiana na afya zao. Watanzania kila wanapolala wanaamka wanauliza bima ya afya itaanza lini kwa ajili ya maisha yao. Mtu kazi, forum hii ulioitisha leo, unayokwenda kuifanya leo, inakwenda kuandika historia katika nafasi ulioaminiwa na Mheshimiwa Rais. Naomba tumpigie makofi mengi sana. Mtu kazi, haiwezekani kwa taifa lenye rasilimali zote hizi tuwe na uzalishaji wa dawa kwa kiwango hicho ambacho tumesimuliwa. Mtu kazi, hawa ni wageni wako, hawa ni watu wako, wamekuja kukufuata wewe. Waonyeshe matumaini, wape nafasi, wawekeze, tukanusuru mioyo ya Watanzania. Watanzania wanahitaji bima ya afya kwa wote. Watanzania wanahitaji kuwa na amani ya afya zao. Jambo hili limebebwa, tumeliweka kwenye mikono yako mtu kazi. Mtu kazi, nenda kanusuru Watanzania. Mtu kazi, ukienda kwenye kila kona ya nchi hii, watu wanasubiri huruma ya Daktari Samia Suluhu Hassan. Ukienda kwenye kila kona ya nchi hii, watu wanataka kuwa na uhakika wa afya zao, na afya zao ziko kwenye mikono yako. Afya zao ziko kwenye dhamana ulioaminiwa. Mtu kazi, wageni wako ni hawa, zungumza nao, wapewe fursa, tupunguze urasimu. Aingie mlango huu, atoke mlango ule, akiwa na certificate yake, aende akaanzishe kiwanda chake. Tunusuru wa Tanzania, hii nchi ni ya kwetu.
Nchi ni ya kwetu, hakuna wa kuijenga bali ni mimi na wewe.
Wawekezaji, tupige kofi moja moja.
Nchi ni ya kwetu, hakuna wa kuijenga bali ni mimi na wewe.
mwenye moyo wa kizalendo,
uwe mmoja wao, uwe mmoja wao, uwe mmoja wao, uwe mmoja wao. Hii ni Tanzania yetu, nchi ni ya kwetu, hakuna wa kuijenga bali ni mimi na wewe.
waonyeshe fursa za uwekezaji kwenye viwanda vya dawa Tanzania.
Uwe mmoja wao, uwe mmoja wao, uwe.
A very huge round of applause to Mrisho Mpoto and Mjomba Band. Asante sana Mjomba Band. To those who didn't understand what the song means, the main message in the song outlines how important you guys are to the government, to the health sector in our country, and how this forum is going to make a huge impact to the development of our health sector, but also he addressed the need for universal health coverage, which indeed the ministry is working hard on it, and it can be remembered that the government has ordered that the universal health coverage must start as soon as possible, and the president herself promised that in first 100 days in power, this issue is going to be covered keenly. And the other message outlines how vital it is for you, the investors, to have a very good and conducive investment environment in this health sector. So again, let's give a very huge round of applause to Mrisho Mpoto. Na sasa Mheshimiwa Waziri, mara baada ya burudani hiyo na ambayo imetuhitimishia hatua ya kwanza ya salamu kutoka kwa makundi mbalimbali, niruhusu sasa nialike salamu kutoka kwa wizara kwa kifupi kabisa, na salamu ambazo ndizo zitatufungulia njia za wewe kuzungumza na hadhara hii. And now, I cordially welcome to the podium the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Saif Shakalage, who is going to do two things. One, to bring to you a few remarks from the Ministry of Health, and the second task is to invite the guest of honor to speak before us today. Let's give a hand of applause to the Permanent Secretary. Karibu sana, Katibu Mkuu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister Waziri Mchengerwa, Minister of Health, distinguished guests. I also appreciate and recognize people sitting on the high table, especially the Deputy Minister from Finance, Minister of Finance, representing Minister of Finance. Allow me, before I give my remarks, to give an additional introduction. The Chief Medical Officer was giving introduction to who is in the room or who have registered. There were a few members that from Russia, from Latvia, and from Uganda. And we are going to do this as we continue, as people are continuing registering. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and once again, you are warmly welcome to Tanzania, but most important, welcome to this Tanzania Pharmaceutical Production Investments Forum. Honorable Minister, Honorable Minister, health is one of the key variables in the equation of economic development. Health. If any country to develop economically, you need a healthy population. If you have a healthy population, then people will engage into different economic activities, and in turn, the country develop economically. And we do understand for the country to have a healthy population, and then there is a primary prevention where the sector of health, making sure people, they don't get illness. But also it is mandated to make sure that when people get ill, there is a medication to treat the people so they could come to the population, then they can continue with their economic activities. And this forum now is where is the key, making sure that there are medicines, there are medical equipment that when people get sick, they will be treated and they will go back to their economic activities. Realizing that the government of Tanzania, under the leadership of Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, who has heavily invested in the health sector, realized the importance of achieving self-sufficient, in terms of pharmaceutical production in all aspects. We are talking medicine, but we are talking some of the devices that are also being used. Hence, the government of Tanzania has always encouraged the investment from both local and also from the international investors. And this is why we have been called upon this forum, where Honorable Mohamed Omar Mchengerwa has called this forum, just to assure that the investment in our country, but also to continue showing that the government is willing and is ready to attract and give all the support to the investors. Honorable Minister, you on 23rd of December last year, 2025, you have formed and launched the pharmaceutical investment that is aiming to facilitate and accelerate. This was a task force that you formed on 23rd of December last year. And the objective of that task force, you really wanted to facilitate and accelerate the process of the investment in our country. But also, Honorable Minister, in that regard, you also on that day launched in our website the expression of interest for the investors who wanted to invest in our country. But also on the same day, 23rd, you instructed us that we organize to have this forum. This is another day, and it's a big hit. And in this regard, on behalf of you, I would like really to ask each one of us who are in this room to appreciate each one for us to come in a large number. Please join me to put our hands together that we appreciate each one of us for coming in a large number. Honorable Minister, organizing this forum was not easy, but for you, as we call you Mtukazi, your aim, you want to make sure that they are sufficient in the medical production in our country. Having said that, Honorable Minister, I don't want to talk too much, but I was just trying to set the ground for you. When I invite you, then you could deliver your speech. Now, with the respect, I would like to invite you to come and deliver your speech, and I am sure the audience is ready to listen to your speech, the directives, the hope that you are going to give these investors that have coming in a large number from different countries. Honorable Minister, please welcome to deliver your speech.
Medulo ya kale Bernaba Classic Utalibene Yezamani Alitoleka Nyerereba Tanzania yetu ndio nchi ya kusifiwa, kote ulimwenguni watu wote watambua. Tanzania yetu ndio nchi ya furaha.
Let's join our hands together for Honorable Minister as he prepares to speak to us. Thank you so much. Karibu sana Mheshimiwa Waziri, karibu sana Mtukazi, karibu sana Rufiji Finest.
Okay. Maybe have a seat. Honorable Mshamu Munde, Deputy Minister of Finance, on behalf of Minister of Finance, Dr. Emmanuel Nuaz, Member of the Parliament representing Parliamentary Standing Committee on Health Issues, Dr. Saif Shekilagi, Permanent Secretary, Minister of Health, Bashiru Harun, Chairman of Tanzania Pharmaceutical Manufacturer Association in the country, Dr. Grace, Chief Medical Officer, members of the Pharmaceutical Investment Acceleration Task Force, prospective investors, and local pharmaceutical manufacturers, distinguished guests, media, ladies and gentlemen. I recognize as well the presence of Wanawake and Samia. I've heard they're here as well. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Allow me to begin by thanking Almighty God for granting us this opportunity to gather here today in good faith and long-term, particularly in the area of pharmaceutical production, which she rightly views as a cornerstone of health security, industrial economic growth, and national dignity. Honorable guests, distinguished investors, ladies and gentlemen, I warmly welcome you to this strategic forum. Your presence here is not incidental. It is a clear demonstration of our shared commitment to building a strong, competitive, and self-reliant pharmaceutical sector. It shows your readiness to join the President's vision of transforming Tanzania toward pharmaceutical regional manufacturing hub. The government recognizes pharmaceutical and health product manufacturers as strategic partners in safeguarding the health of Tanzania and our national journey toward self-reliance, regional and global competitiveness. I clearly understand that national health security cannot be built on dependence in imported medicines alone. It must be built by encouraging local investments, strengthening the capacity of our industries, and fully integrating them into regional and global value chains. Honorable guests, distinguished investors, ladies and gentlemen, we have convened today with a specific purpose to create an open, honest, and practical dialogue between the government and investors to showcase pharmaceutical manufacturing investment opportunities in our country, highlight government incentives, regulatory pathways, and support mechanisms, and facilitate networking between investors, manufacturers, government, regulators, and development partners. It is a critical moment to align and tap the prevailing opportunities in the manufacturing sector. Honorable guests, distinguished investors, ladies and gentlemen, over the past years, Tanzania has made a significant progress in improving access to essential medicines and health commodities. We have strengthened regulatory systems, improved the procurement supply chains mechanisms, invested in health infrastructure, and doubled the health commodities budget. However, we also recognize the reliance on imported pharmaceutical products poses challenges to affordability, availability, and a long-term sustainability of the health service provision. I understand building pharmaceutical industry is not just an industrial project. It is a strategic investment in health, the economy of science, and Tanzania's global standing. For this reason, the government has introduced the Pharmaceutical Acceleration Strategy to facilitate and speed up all the processes. We recognize that the pharmaceutical sector cannot wait for slow conventional decision-making processes. Given its strategic importance to national health, economic growth, and security, the government has established fast-track mechanism to remove structural bottlenecks and accelerate investment decisions. Under this strategy, licensing, permits, land access, taxation, product registration, and infrastructure provision will be processed concurrently rather than sequentially. The goal is to provide serious investors with clear, predictable, and timely decisions. To operationalize this, the government has established the Pharmaceutical Investment Acceleration Task Force, PIT. PIT has direct authority to coordinate and fast-track strategic pharmaceutical investment from project evaluation and approval to final implementation decision, eliminating bureaucracy delays. PIAT brings together decision makers with direct authority across policy, regulation, finance, land, energy, trade, investment, and public procurement. This ensures that the decisions are made decisively at one table with a unified national perspective. Through PIAT, Tanzania is creating a strategic window for pharmaceutical investors through transparent, time-bound, and result-oriented. PIAT does not only facilitate decision-making, it monitors implementation in real time. Honorable guests, distinguished investors, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to formally announce that the government has issued and published an expression of interest, EOI, for investment in pharmaceutical and health product manufacturing. The EOI aims at attract local and international investors, facilitate partnership between local manufacturers and global partners, mobilize capital, technology, and markets, and accelerate attainment of international standards, especially GMP and WHO PQ. The deadline for submission is March 2nd, 2026, underscoring our commitment to speed and take decisive action. Honorable guests, distinguished investors, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to outline the key national objective guiding the development of pharmaceutical manufacturing in our country. First, to build national health sovereignty and security. A country that produces its own medicine is better positioned to protect its citizens during health emergencies, natural disasters, or global supply chain disruptions. Global experience has shown that countries without domestic pharmaceutical production are more vulnerable during crisis, a lesson learned during COVID-19. Second, to position Tanzania as a major pharmaceutical producer and exporter in Africa. Our vision goes beyond meeting domestic demand. We aim to establish Tanzania as a manufacturing export hub for Africa, East Africa, and SADC, and the entire continent as well. This will place Tanzania firmly on the global map as a contributor to regional and international health security. Third, to promote the production of modern, next-generation medicines, advanced generics is not a matter of preference. It is a matter of necessity. The reality is that many medicines available in African markets are based on outdated technologies that have long suppressed in developed countries. Yet medical science is advancing rapidly, continuously, improving treatment quality, patient safety, and cost effectiveness. By establishing modern pharmaceutical industries, Tanzania can transition from being a passive recipient of outdated medicines to an active participant in global medical innovation. Advanced generics offer improved efficacy, better drug delivery systems, more accurate dosing, and fewer side effects. In simple terms, better science leads to better outcome for patients. Let us speak honestly and boldly. Africa, including Tanzania, has for too long been treated as a market for old generation medicine. While these medicines have a role, the world has moved forward, and too often we are left receiving what others no longer prioritize. Africa must no longer be the last destination for yesterday's medicine. This reality has reinforced the perception of Africa as a terminal market rather than an equal partner in medical advancement. As a result, patients frequently receive less effective treatments, even as the disease evolves and demand therapies that are safer, more precise, and more effective. The disease does not still stand, and neither should the medicine we use to fight it. Worse still, reliance on imports has contributed to the circulation of substandard medicine products, medicine that do not meet quality specifications are not manufactured according to good practices. Our lack of stability throughout their shelf life, such products do not merely fail to heal, they actively endanger lives. The impact of Tanzanian lives is profound. Substandard medicine lead to treatment failure, prolonged illness, drug resistance, and preventable deaths. For patients, this means physical and psychological suffering. For families, endless financial burdens, and for the nation, lost productivity. These rising healthcare costs and erosion of public trust in health services. Poor quality medicine cost more than money, they cost lives. That is why strategy to promote modern pharmaceutical manufacturing, encourage advanced generics, and enforce international standards such as WHO, GMP, is not just an industrial agenda. It is a national decision to protect lives, improve healthcare quality, and permanently remove Tanzania from the cycle of dependence on outdated and poor quality medicines. This is not about factories alone. It is about dignity, safety, and the right of our people to world-class health care. Honorable guests, distinguished investors, ladies and gentlemen, as we all understand, global competitive pharmaceutical sector depends on coordinated action between the public and private sectors. The government is focused on putting in place the necessary infrastructure, aligning policy and regulation, and ensuring a stable and predictable market environment to support local pharmaceutical manufacturing. The forum comes at a moment, providing opportunity to examine how government-led infrastructure, readiness, and market assurance can support increased local manufacturing, research and development, technology transfer and investment, with direct implication for health security, economic growth, job creation, and industrial development. It is against this backdrop that I'm pleased to announce a major step in Tanzania pharmaceutical industrialization agenda, and this is the establishment of pharmaceutical manufacturing hub clusters at Mloganzila and Kibaha. These hubs are being developed as integrated ecosystems, bringing together manufacturers, regulators, research capacity, and logistic infrastructure in one coordinated platform. This cluster-based approach reflects proven global practice where pharmaceutical hubs have reduced production costs, accelerated the regulatory process, and enabled manufacturers to scale efficiently while meeting international quality standards. To support these ecosystems, I'm also announcing a $10 million a government-backed investment in a shared pharmaceutical laboratory facility, serving both clusters. This facility will provide advanced quality testing, bioequivalence studies, and regulatory support, shared manufacture that lowers entity barriers, shorten times to market, and strengthen compliance with WHO, PQ, and GMP requirements. Alongside infrastructure investment, the government is also committing to a clear policy framework for market protection. For investors, let me be clear on policy protection. Once local manufacturers achieve internationally recognized quality standards, government will align procurement, tariff, and regulatory instruments to prioritize quality-assured local production, ensuring market stability, predictability of demand, and fair competition against imports. This is the rules-based framework anchored in quality and performance, not discretion, distinguished investors. As I've already stated, and let me emphasize again with full clarity, market certainty is non-negotiable. I will repeat. Market certainty is non-negotiable for serious pharmaceutical manufacturers. Tanzania is not inviting you to invest and leaving you exposed. Once you invest, comply with WHO pre-qualification and GMP standards, and manufacture competitively in Tanzania, the government will actively protect your market position. The government will protect your market position. And this includes structured market assurance through public procurement, preferential treatment for locally manufactured, quality compliant products, fiscal and tariff instruments to prevent unfair import competition, regulatory enforcement against substandard and dumping practices. Allow me to state this point with absolute clarity. No investor will be asked to build factories in Tanzania only to be frustrated by unfair imports. That era is over. I will repeat. No investor will be asked to build factories in our country only to be frustrated by unfair imports. That era is over. And further, we will use all lawful power of the state, police, regulation, procurement, and taxation to protect serious pharmaceutical investments. Importation will not be allowed to undermine, delay, or suffocate domestic manufacturing. Our ambition is simple: medicines made in Tanzania, trusted in Africa, and accepted globally. Therefore, our objective is clear: to make Tanzania a reliable, competitive manufacturing base for quality assured medicines, serving domestic demand while unlocking regional and international export markets. Government is investing alongside the private sector to reduce risk, enhance predictability, and create an environment where capital, technology, and skills can scale with confidence. And this is not a pilot. It is a long-term industrial commitment. We invite you to partner with us. We invite you to partner with us in building. As I conclude, allow me to extend an invitation grounded in clarity, commitment, and confidence. Tanzania has made a deliberate and irreversible choice to invest in modern pharmaceutical manufacturing as a pillar of health security, industrial growth, and regional leadership. We have aligned policy, regulation, infrastructure, and political will to support those who are ready to build, innovate, and produce. The opportunity before you is not theoretical. The market is real. The demand is growing. The regulatory pathways is clear. and the government stand ready to work with serious partners openly, decisively, and in good faith. This is an invitation to invest not only in factories, but in system that values quality, certainty, and a long-term partnership. For those prepared to manufacture locally, meet international standards, and think beyond short-term returns, Tanzania offers stable platform for growth, expansion, and regional reach. We invite you to grow with us, to produce with us, and to shape the future of healthcare in Africa with us. Honorable guests,
Hi everyone, I'm Emma. We've just taken a hit and are working on repairs for the space station.